whenever you open the VA's folder. The folder that you need to go into whenever you're working for me is February 2023 and inventory logs. So focus on February 2023 and inventory logs. In February 2023, two folders. There's March photos to sort and draft me. So click on draft me, click on new items list, click on current, easy and all laid out for you for matching up with the Excel sheet. Because if you look at the custom labels, like A049 is the custom label here, all you have to do to find the photos for A049 is you go to current, and because the number is 49, you would go to 1 through 50. But if the number was over 51, you would go to 51 through 100. The letters are irrelevant for the numbering system for the folders. The letters only represent who the owner of the inventory. A049 would be found right here, and it's the blue bracelet. Let's just cross-check description and additional details: blue, white, clear, silver, double layered beads, and still silver tone metal stretchy bracelet. These silver parts are considered spacers in glass beads or rhinestones. If you don't know, either Google image search it or stick with, because there's plenty of them. The best way to go about it is searching for an item that's similar to the item that you're going to list: blue and clear, rhinestone, bendable bracelet. And I would press includes description, and I would click on sold items for worldwide to show me highest to lowest. Look for something similar. I would honestly press sell similar on this. Press so it would go sell one like this. Add the photos from OneDrive, like going like this. Copy image link, right, image address, complete listing. Import from web. Control V. Add additional. Next. Copy image address. Next. Copy image address. Control V. Every single word in the title needs to be capitalized. There's no sterling silver in my item. There's no clasp in my item. Always choose two store categories, one eBay category. So I'm going to choose bracelet and jewelry. There you go. Done. Brands. Vintage. Only write this if it's true. Style. Beaded. Bracelet. Base metal. For occasion, we check every single box. For features, it's adjustable. It's not engraved because there's no maker's mark on it. It is reversible. It is stackable. I don't think it's magnetic. Number of gemstones. Count it. Theme. What reminds you of this item? Or what makes you think of this item? Chain type. There's no chain. Does not apply. Setting style. Channel. Means don't. Okay, so country of origin. I'm gonna write China because it's the best answer. You don't know. Almost everything's made in China. Closure is slide on or slide right there. Main stone is glass. Secondary stone is rhinestone or crystal or whatever. Okay, so number of gemstones. Let's count. Let's go for this one. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So times it by 2 because there's only one side. 18 times 2 is 36. No, 36 plus 36. That's 72. That's what you write right there. Whatever I couldn't put in the title, I'm going to put in the description. Vintage blue and clear crystal glass beaded bracelet, double layered adjustable with angular. Photos. I'm going to put them in listed. And I'm going to go sell styles. Listed. And I'm just going in order. So I chose that flower. Vintage, yellow, orange, glass. Flower, pin, brooch, eye-catching. Actually, I didn't come up with that title. I found an item that looked just like it. I pressed sell similar, and now I'm correcting the title to be in a format that I like, with words that are more descriptive for the item that I'm actually selling versus what the other seller was using to describe an item that looked just about the same. Yellow, golden, citrine. Citrine is the color, lotus flower, the brooch. Do you see how eBay is making suggestions for me? Um, Not everything is always going to be accurate because the brand is not Lotus, but eBay assumes that. Just ignore that and only check off whatever is relevant and correct. Don't just trust everything just because it says list faster. It's not going to make it any faster if you're making mistakes. Add your custom label. Make sure your category is correct. Add your two store categories. And then if it's truly vintage or the Excel sheet says vintage, word vintage. But try Google image search because it not only will it help you find the same exact item, but sometimes it helps you find the brand and so many more details. Don't use unisex whenever you can, just avoid that. I'm going from the top to the bottom. Occasion is everything. Sale is no. Seller warranty is no. Theme is whatever makes you think of the item. It's from woman. It's the shape of a flower. It's not signed. It's like 2.5 inches. Country. There we go. Occasion is everything. Put original for every time you see original or reproduction. Features. Pick whatever is relevant to the item you're listing. There is no gemstones or diamonds here. This is fashion jewelry, not fine. Metal. Okay, to write unknown. Means color. Do you guys see how you can just hover over these options that eBay has for the item specifics? It gives you the definition of what they're looking for, like right there. I'm copying and pasting the title into the description box. Ask me for the prices if it's under $20. Just ask me. Usually, just make it $29.99 if it's under 20, but just confirm that with me. You'll have a cheat sheet for this. You don't need to pause this or anything. Require immediate payment. Global shipping program. eBay International Standard Delivery. Calculated shipping. Buyer pays for returns for domestic. 30 days. Volume pricing is a yes. And then you save it as a draft. So whenever you list, make sure that you're updating the status on eBay column from not started to drafted. Now, you don't move it off of this sheet. That's my job. Indication of whether or not you're going to find the photos easily on OneDrive. And a status column that you need to update. Here's the categories. There's only like 10. Put into this drop down menu. Whenever you're adding items to Excel, just pick one of these. That's it. The item type, like get a little more specific when you're describing it. Custom label is really important. You guys need to put this on eBay for sure. So then where it says, where's the pictures? That's how you get to the photo. Location. Brand, not description. Products. Okay, everybody's supposed to create their titles over here. And searching for the item numbers and everything through here by searching for keywords. Like when I was looking for the brown earrings, I just typed the word brown in description and additional details, and I also typed in the color right here too because sometimes it might be missing on one side and not the other. Technically, you're not really supposed to put the color over here. You're just supposed to put it over here. They are on Excel right here. Now let's check if all the photos are posted. You just click on one. There's 5 photos here. There's 6 photos here. If I were to tell you to add that Toyo bowl to the active listing, what would you do is search within my inventory. Go over to the sell button right there to go to Seller Hub. If you want to make the biggest mistake ever, you would start searching up here where my mouse is pointing. And if you want to do this correctly, when I tell you to search within my inventory, you need to go down to here. And you need to click on search. You need to click on item title, contains, enter value, and we're searching for Toyo, right? Now there is this right here, upload photo. You go ahead and press save. And I'm going to put this in a done folder or listed right there to draft me. I'm also going to open the VAs tab and I'm going to open inventory logs. There's the read first instructions. Read these instructions. It'll really help you. New items list would be the next thing to click on after draft me. And then current and other. Okay. So current has two folders in it. Check if that Mikasa item is listed because that's what you're supposed to do as the first step. Before you start listing anything, you're supposed to check if it truly needs to be listed as part of our listing process. There it is, listed. So I go sell styles and I go listed and then I update it right here on the status on eBay to listed. I go on to the next one. So 18 count the Prisma color premiere. Let's go like this. Okay, Prisma. Alright, so there's an 18 count. I'm done. These Pokemon cards. I wouldn't put the word basic when I'm searching for it. It's listed. Slow styles listed. Go here. And listed. Again, when searching for Pokemon cards, remove the word basic and you'll have a better time finding it as well. Cell styles listed. Next. And Pikachu. Or Detective Pikachu. Control C. I'm taking out the word basic only. Okay, good. That's not listed. That's an easy one. Next one, Nike. Now let me talk about how easy it is to find these photos. We're looking at F019. We're going to head to OneDrive. We're going to head up VAs. We're going to click on February 2023. We're going to click on Draft Me. We're going to click on New Items List. We're going to click on, we're looking for F019, so that would be between 1 and 50. F019. What about F018? How do I find that? If I wanted to list F018, I would go back to 1 through 50. I would look for F018, pastel necklace. F018. OneDrive, VAs, February 2023, Draft Me, New Items List, current 1F019, black gold clip-on. That actually is the exact name of all of these folders that I have in that column right there. So if you see something written there, that means you should definitely pay attention to it. Now if you see nothing written there, you should probably skip it. So if you want to fill stuff in, like 63, let's see, to a drop-down menu. So I can simplify the way that you list things on here. So let's say you're on the photos column. If you have received items information from me, you're either going to receive it in the format of, you're either going to receive photos of the item or you're going to receive the information about the item in my via my handwritten notes, or you're going to receive both the handwritten notes and the photos of the item. It's usually one or the other whenever we're just adding stuff to Excel. So if you've gotten the photos from me, the answer is yes. If you haven't gotten the photos from me and you got just the handwritten notes, the answer is no, unless I've told you that the photos are there. But usually the answer is no. The next column is status, and then if you are writing this on Excel, I don't ever make you waste your time writing something down that we don't even need to list. So if you're writing it down, that means you have the status of not started. I will change this to say that. Okay, then the next column is categories, and these are the categories to choose from. Hopefully that covers everything in, but if it doesn't, again, you have option 10, which is other. Your next part is the item type. So if we're saying that it's jewelry, watches, and accessories, that's way too vague to pick out what the category name is on eBay. And eBay actually has a different category for the vintage necklaces or vintage jewelry versus modern. So you would need to know that information by referencing to this column for item type, or if you don't see it there, then there's actually another spot that I actually just put it in where it says vintage right there, what I highlighted. And if I've told you that it's vintage, then it's vintage. If I've told you that it's not, it's not. I'll usually tell you that kind of information, and eventually you'll learn how to figure it out yourself. The custom label, the inventory owner, is the first letter or the first two letters of your custom labels. Elsie is one of my clients. Since she's the owner of the sports cards in these photos, I put those there. She's the owner of that necklace, and she's the owner of the 3 brown necklaces. Everything here needs to get listed. Whenever you're done with it, you create a done folder or you move it to a pre-existing done folder. There's plenty of them, and if you're not seeing the done folder, just create one. I don't care. It cannot be sitting in its current folder, because that defeats the purpose of keeping our statuses updated. And for example, it's the same thing on OneDrive.com. This is on my computer, but whatever. It's the same thing. So 1 through 50. And I told you that your current task right now is come up with product listing titles for these photos prior to even thinking about listing them. So number 9. This, for example, to me, the item type is a brooch. The shape of the item is a flower. The color is like a yellowish orange. I don't know, but it looks kind of see-through. So I would say transparent or translucent. I don't remember what the difference is, but I'm sure we'll look it up whenever it's relevant. And then if I wanted to find that item, we're on number 9. I go to current, and to find out what else there's for you about the item, just to make it easier, let's go type in a 9, enter, and F009 is the same thing as number 9. Okay. So it's a flower brooch, plastic, glass, and metal. It's used. The photos are available on OneDrive. It is costume jewelry and it's vintage. All right, so we're going to talk about photo organization on my OneDrive, and we're also going to discuss knowing what products we need to get up and listed. You go to VAs, and then you click on February 2023. I know what month we're in, but we're still in this folder. There is sort then draft, and then there is March photos to sort. So I want you to actually go ahead and click on March photos to sort, and there's 143 photos here right now. So you click new, you create a folder, and you start describing the item that you see in front of you. So I see an Eclipse watch, but I know that I'm going to assume that there's more than one of everything. And by more than one, I mean different shapes, styles, model numbers, and sizes. So because of that, I'm going to have to differentiate this item by giving it a more unique name. So I'm going to call it Eclipse watch metal watch pearl. See. All right, so now I'm going to grab all of these photos for the Eclipse watch. I know there's a lot. First, let's go do this. Go to sort by the name of the file. It from the side by left clicking and drag it and drop it and let go, and then ignore it and move on to the next one. Even though it says moving, who cares? This one is a Skagen, I think. Let me just see. See, there's another Eclipse watch right there. Let's do the second Eclipse. So new folder, black and silver and silver Eclipse watch. Perfect. Now I'm going to grab the black and silver one. Just like that. I go like this, drag it, drop it, done. So what does the folder title consist of? It consists of the brand name. It consists of a product identifier or item specific about the item. So don't overdo it with the descriptions. Try to keep it at 1 to 5 words, even though I'm a bad role model because I just went over. Now, um, go ahead and put every single individual item in its own folder.